there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Word to your mother.
We got the official go.
We're
good to go.
We're on.
We're on now.
We're actually doing
So
it.
now's the point where I say, hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Two Cool Moms. I'm Joe Gatto.
I'm Steve Byrne.
And we are here to help the world, Steven.
Yeah.
You know, one dilemma at a time.
And
let's
eventually help ourselves with where our sign is actually going to end up.
Yes, because if you noticed, it's fallen. We've had some issues, if we're going to be honest with everybody, okay? The Two Cool Moms sign was originally high, and then we had like a tape thing. It didn't work out. So we put it on a box, and that didn't work out. So now we're on the table.
Yeah. Eventually we'll be on the floor doing this podcast, but our production designer of the show itself just left for the newest Star Wars show. So
yeah.
We're just kind of doing this on our own right now.
We're left to our own devices, and our devices has ended up with a Two Cool Moms Kinko's printout table being held up by a plant.
A fake
plant.
$3
Yep.
home goods.
And we had to move the lavender completely. Like depth perception, you think it's here. It's not. It's at the edge of the table.
It's not. And guys, by the way, it's not 8 foot tall.
No.
It's just depth perception. So please.
And you know what? But people don't care about that because most people aren't even listening.
They care about us.
Do they?
That's why, not really.
Most people don't even see this. We're really doing this for ourselves at this point.
Well, no, we're starting to do pretty well.
We're getting big numbers.
Huge numbers.
Yeah,
That's
we're doing
right.
great. Hey, you know what, though? I'm having fun doing it. I enjoy it. We're hearing the people that do listen are enjoying us doing it. So
That's right.
What more do we need?
Well, here's what's going to go down. I think what's going to happen is that eventually this podcast is going to get so massive.
Right.
Me and you are going to end up in an octagon with Joe Rogan, giving him a wedgie, saying who's number one.
Right.
And it's 2 versus 1. And believe me,
And he can take
he's
both of
getting
us.
taken down.
He can take
He's
both
going
of
to
us.
beat the shit out of both of
The
us.
Two
yes.
Cool Moms experience is not happening. I will say this, though. You, in sport, you are very competitive.
In sport.
Right.
But in sport, I'm pretty competitive.
But in life, you're very supportive.
Very much so, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
You like to see the little guy win.
Always.
Always, right?
I'm always for the underdog.
You love an underdog story.
Yeah.
I am life's underdog because I'm not good at sports, so I'm always never.
That's why I'm here.
This is it. So in sports, I was never competitive. Besides bowling and volleyball, those are my 2 sports where I could really.
We got to go bowling at some point.
Oh, you got to.
Can we go this weekend?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see. There's nothing that
You wanna
makes
see
me
the
laugh
release.
harder than the flair of the. It's always that side kick that goes.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It's just the way you end up. It's your stance. It's the same thing after it's your follow through. You know.
Sure, but how is the?
You stop yourself from falling over because if you're really putting your right side into it, you got to bounce.
So
her
this
out.
is just a spin because I always go. I look at the markers like 10 feet in front of you.
Yep.
And I try to align the ball with one of those markers. So if I want to be a slightly off edge,
Yep.
I'll line it up and just try to bulldoze it straight down. I don't do the curve thing.
No, I do a diagonal. I don't really do a curve either. I don't do a cross alley comebacker. No,
So you're
it's not my
going
thing.
like that or that.
My
You're working the angles.
My left foot's on the rightmost dot. I'm hitting between the 2 and 3 arrow, and I'm going right to the pocket, and that's what I'm hoping.
Oh, so you're going up at an angle to
Right into the I'm hitting between the right side of the head pin, right side of the pocket. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm hoping for the best.
Right.
And it happens with me.
How many turkeys have you had in your life?
I've had plenty of turkeys.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I came close last time.
Did you?
I got 2, and then the third I got a spare.
Okay. Well,
I was pretty bummed
that's
about
pretty.
that.
You got.
I don't want the turkey.
They call it a chicken.
Oh, is it? Are
No,
you? Oh.
they should though. They should though.
They call it
should,
something.
though.
Yeah.
I when I used to. My love for bowling came from my childhood because my parents. Did your parents do anything together? My parents did a mixed league, a co-ed bowling league on
really?
Thursday nights. So me and my friend Joe Trancucci, used to go with our
Say that
parents.
name one more time.
Joey Trancucci. Joey T.
It's just this is like
He's the best,
this is-
right?
Yeah, this is New York.
Yeah, my best friends growing up, and we used to. Our parents were his mom and dad, Cheryl and Joe, who were with Jerry and Joe, and they used to be the 4 of them used to go and bowl on Thursday nights, and me and Joey used to get a roll of quarters, and we used to play the video games.
Come on,
and, Yeah, and I used to fall asleep in the bowling alley, like it was like one of those things.
You get a slice of pizza or
Slice of
something.
pizza, yeah, I got to hang
that's
out.
the
They
best.
had the little soda things. It was great. Soda fountains, root beer floats. I used to get there. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, at Bowling on the Green. That was the name of the place, and I wonder if it's still there in
Were they
Staten
good?
Island. What good?
Were you folks good bowlers?
Yes. Yeah, my mother was actually very good. My father was good too, but Joey T's father, Joe, was the guy. Yeah, he was the anchor.
Yeah.
As they say, the fourth man bowling. But I used to remember like being around bowling, and so like I guess it was like, oh, I'll bowl when I grow up. And I used to,
Sure.
your dad did it, your hero did it. So I was like,
course,
it's so
yeah.
cool. And then I quickly found out that it wasn't cool when I went.
But you do craps.
I do craps.
There you go.
Yeah, my dad was good at craps table too. But no, bowling. You know what though? Actually, I will say this: bowling. It's gotten like cooler when I'm older to like go bowling with people and actually be pretty okay at it. And people are like, "What? You could bowl?"
Yeah.
It's like interesting.
What's your average score when you bowl?
When I bowled in my high game in high school was a 288.
Holy
the highest
cow!
I've
Are you
ever
kidding
done.
me?
Yeah, I got a
I'm happy
288.
when I break 100.
Yeah, I got a 288. Right now, if I go, I mean, I don't bowl often enough.
Yeah.
But I normally get in the 160-ish range.
Okay.
And then, I do have a fluke here or there where I'll hit a 200, but it's not for the.
Closed in 2004.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Bowling
spot?
on the green.
I laughed because I first typed in blowing on the
Very different results.
Completely different
Yeah,
result for
yes.
Jiggy got a turkey.
Bowling, you got a turkey.
Yeah.
Bowling on the green, yes. Bowling on the green is closed, yeah.
I used to live in Pittsburgh. There was a bowling alley called McKnight Lanes, and they had filmed. Its claim to fame was that they had filmed a scene from Kingpin in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the spot. But my dad, when I was growing up, my folks never did anything together. But my father played hockey. He played roller hockey growing up in New York City, and then he played hockey. So he got me into it. And so when I was a kid growing up in Jersey, especially I remember him going out to Princeton. He would skate at the Princeton University rink in a men's league, and he'd bring me, and I was like maybe 6 or 7, 8 in those ages, and he'd go play hockey. And he'd leave me in the rink, and I would go around and collect pucks all through all the errant pucks that got shot up and everywhere. So by the time I was like in junior high school, I had a puck collection of like 250 pucks.
Yeah.
All different emblems and a lot of Princeton Tiger ones. And then when we moved to Pittsburgh, my father coached our high school hockey team. And he started using my pucks as the practice pucks. So all my pucks that I collected were all gone. And I had like Binghamton Whalers, like all these great like minor league teams, Rochester Americans.
Really?
All gone. I was so pissed. And I look back at that. I was like, yeah, of course he's going to do that. But I had some really cool vintage pucks that, they're not worth anything. But to me, they were sentimental value.
So you still play hockey now. Do you think your son's going to get into it because he watches you?
He does not enjoy it. I've tried taking him skating. He's not taking to it. I love playing. I love watching it. I still play. I just played Sunday, and I broke up. I broke up like 2 fights.
Really?
Yeah, because it still gets heated.
Yeah.
There was a kid who... Look, it's a men's league, right? Most of us are in our 30s or 40s, even later.
Yeah.
But late 40s for me. But every now and then you play a team with a bunch of kids that play together in college.
Right,
and we had that this week. And there was a kid. These guys were very fast. They're pretty good. But it's like, I'm in my late 40s. It's like, I'm not going to compete with that. It's fine. I'm just here to like, none of us want man tits. That's why we're here, right? And so this kid,
Speak for yourself, Steven. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm a bowler.
Well, you'd be very welcome at blowing on the green. I think you would really enjoy it there. But we were playing, and this kid came down and just dinked it off the post over the goalie's shoulder, and he starts taunting the goalie. And it's 6-2. It's a second period. There's another period to go and another period and a half. And he's like talking smack to the goalie, like, yeah, what's up? Can't stop me. Can't.
Oh, come on.
I just go over to him. I go, bud, you guys are younger. You're faster. You're blowing us out. We're here to have fun, man. Just chill out. Don't take it out on the goalie. Don't be that guy. He goes, he can't stop me. You guys can't stop me. I put my arm around him. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Have a little class. Just have some class. And I was trying to be like the elder statesman. And then, like, next shift, one of our guys on the team was just like, fuck this guy. And they were in the corner, and they're mixing it up, and I broke that up. And then the kid was mouthing off, and the kid mouthed off to the player's father.
Oh, no.
The father's getting into it, and the father's a brick house. It's like, don't do this. This guy will smoke you. And I was calming the father down now. And then I calm him down. I get him away. The old, look at me. Look at my face. Look at me. You all right? Trying to break it up. And then I pull him away, and then the kid gives the dad the finger, and the dad just sees red, and I go, you know what?
Yeah, you deserve it.
Let him go.
Yeah,
Let him go. And I'll tell you what, the kid shut up real quick. He shut up real quick after that because the dad ripped the kid's helmet off, and he's got him on the ice, and he's just dragging his head on the ice, just dragging it. He goes, you quiet now?
Oh,
you quiet
that's a
now?
dad
Just
teaching a lesson. That's a
yeah.
dad teaching a kid a lesson.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
man.
But that kid needed that lesson.
Yeah, I mean that's just bad sportsmanship.
Horrible. You don't get much taunting in bowling,
No,
right? I mean,
not much you do.
Pete Weber, that's really it.
No, but everybody, it's really when you walk away with confidence. I'm known for the walk away. When you throw it, you know it's a strike, and I'll walk away.
When you throw it, you know it.
Sometimes you throw it, you know it.
Yeah.
When you throw it, you know it. So when I'm walking back, and I'm just got that stride. I got that gazelle who's coming down. I'm just let the watering hole. I got the 1-2 right. I'm coming down, and you just know it's a strike. And there's times where
I'm a gazelle leaving the watering hole.
It should have been a strike, and it's not. And that's the worst when you hear people laughing at you because it's not, and you're like, shit.
Have you ever rolled it, turned around, like when Steph Curry throws a 3 and you turn around, you're like, oh,
100%.
Nope. One pin still
It's
standing.
just doing the shake, and it's the worst if it's the front pin, like it's the front because that is the lanes giving you the finger. That's straight up the middle finger for them, and it's like screw you, dude. Yeah, that happens.
We got to go bowling, and after having this conversation and the last few, I want to design something for your merch. Okay. All right. I'm gonna design something for your merch. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be vintage. It's going to be cool.
Is it going to be a
we'll
bowling
shirt? We'll give it a test run. I'll be, not like a bowling shirt, but it's going to be a cool T-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll give it a trial run.
Great.
Okay.
Let's give it a go.
All right.
I'm in.
That's the deal. I grow a mustache.
Yes.
We discussed that before.
Mm-hmm.
You let me do that.
Deal.
Okay, here we go. Here's our first question.
So thanks everybody who wrote in their queries for us to help them with their life. I hope everybody's okay out there. Stay strong, and we're going to get into it right now. At Two Cool Moms Pod, as you know, we're here to help.
We're always here to help. And this coming to us from Jonathan. Jonathan's a young man. Hey, mommies. Recently, I have got feelings for someone I've been friends with for years. The issue is a really close friend had feelings for her previously. I obviously don't want to hurt my friend or break bro code, but I can't deny my feelings for her. I need help. Now, look, if there's anybody that knows bro code, it's these two moms. Because we talk about bro code all the time. All the time.
It was almost named Two Cool Bro Codes, but we went with Two Cool Moms. You know what? That's, matters of the heart are very, very, there's no rule book.
There's no rule book. All's fair in love and war. But here's as you disseminate this, right? I have feelings, but a really close friend had feelings for her previously. So obviously the other person, his friend, his bro, had feelings. It didn't work out. He's got feelings for her now. I would think that if it's a good friend of yours, it's like, I gave it a shot. It didn't work out. Sure. There's a reason you like her. There's a reason I liked her. She's great.
Right.
So
Right.
I think if your friend is truly a bro, I would assume that bro would be as supportive for you, because as you go out, I know that you can't be confined within the bricks of your high school or the territory of your campus if you're in university, but it's a big world out there. And I think the more you guys expose yourself to different environments,
100%.
You'll just realize, oh my God, there's more than just the gaggle of girls we know that we're in school with.
Right. Right.
So
That's a very interesting perspective.
Oh, you have a differing?
No.
What's your?
Because I was just proposed a question from a friend of mine that said, would it be weird if you knew the guy that your ex-wife was going to start dating? And I was like, oh, I never even thought of that.
Okay, hold on. Say that one more time.
Would it be weird if you knew the guy that your ex-wife was going to start to date?
Would it be weird if you knew the guy?
Yeah.
So it was somebody you had prior knowledge of, as opposed to a complete stranger starting to.
Would that be weird? It was just hypotheticals, and I was like, I had never even thought of that.
Either way, it's going to be weird.
It's going to be weird. It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't make one weirder than the other. Here, for me, it's like, just because someone likes someone, it doesn't take that person off the table for you.
Sure.
As long as you're open and honest, and that's what you want to keep that friendship with.
Yeah.
It's a friend. You're saying you're good friends. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't let the guy find out in any other way than from your mouth. Is my number one.
100%
Is my
agreed.
number one.
There's nothing worse than coming off as deceitful.
Yes.
You want to be, if somebody truly means something to you, you want to be as upfront as possible. And, there's nothing wrong with, hey, can we grab lunch?
Yeah.
There's something I'd like to get off the chest.
Yeah.
Pick up the tab.
Always
Pick up the tab.
Pick up the tab.
Pick
Always
up the tab
bring
on that
food
one.
to the table. To that you got to feed them when you're
Break
about
bread
to,
and have a discussion. I found some of the best discussions I've had have been over meals.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not been the most, I remember one time a friend of mine, a really great friend of mine, I felt like I was doing more of the workload in terms of being friends. And I just said, hey, could we go out to dinner? I'd love to discuss something with you. And after that conversation and after that meal, it's been nothing but it was great for the friendship, you know. And we're just friends. It was.
I will say you can't put your happiness in someone else's hands of what might have been for them. It doesn't feel right from there.
Yeah.
If you're picking it up from that handle, it doesn't feel right at all. That's not. They don't have the right to do that, and it's also not their responsibility to have your happiness hanging over them. So start with a combo. There is my thing. I would not let that friend get in the way of if there's really something there. But also, to Steve's point, remember, like, there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
So, it could just be a moment now that you're like, oh, you're hyper-focused with this one person who is the shiniest in the,
Sure.
amongst your friends right now.
I mean, even amongst, like, your friends, my friends, as we all get older, you think of the multitude of, like, people we've all come across and had experiences with, connections with, relationships with, dating with. Think of all those people cold over time and who truly you kind of end up with. It's like, it's immeasurable, the number of people you meet, and even timing wise, sometimes it doesn't work out or whatever. When you're younger, you're starting off, right? And the world is so much smaller. But I think as you get older, the world is so big.
Yes.
So, so take stock of knowing that they're all experiences that are going to help you become better when you eventually do settle down. And even when you do settle down, there's no guarantees of that either.
Right.
That's
some great advice, Mommy. Great work there.
I'm spent.
Okay, thanks for tuning in.
You've got to do the heavy lifting on this next one, Joe. I'm just gonna read it, okay?
I got you.
Oh, God, this is from Brandon. Okay, was wondering if you guys would think I'm a loser. First off, no. No, Brandon.
Never. Why? What'd you do?
Never, because we're here to support you.
What'd you do?
For wanting to stay single and just focus on my life with working and building my future with work. Okay, again, I go back to absolutely not. Was wondering your thoughts on that. I've been rejected by every girl I've ever liked. And I know I'm not very attractive and need a lot of work. But also right now, I'm glad to be single because it saves me more money for the money I'm working so hard to put away for my future. When I retire from my post office job, I want to buy a house in Japan and spend 6 months in America.
You got a plan.
And 6 months at property over there and be a dual citizen. Focusing on my purpose rather than my women, I should say I appreciate your input and thanks so much. I love this guy.
Him. I
love Brandon.
I love everything about Brandon's message.
I love that he wants to spend 6 months in Japan. It's like
he's got a vision for his future. He's got a vision board.
This is what happens when you watch The Karate Kid and you're 10.
100%.
You're going Okinawa.
Yeah. Bonsai. Rub me down. Bonsai tree. I'm going to be a bonsai treeman. That's what I'm going to do in my life. Okay, I don't need women's. I got my bonsais. I got my scissors, and I'm set.
Women's.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's so funny because he comes at it at a very weird place where he's defining if I would think he's a winner or a loser if he's with someone. Some of the most people, I mean, I'm alone right now, but some of the coolest people I've met or known over time.
Yeah.
Have been people that don't have someone and are very comfortable with themselves. It seems like he's got a plan laid out for his future. It doesn't involve with a woman. So
I think most of us that are, in this industry, we're all kind of carnies, right? And I think most of us took the front load of investment of your 20s to get bruised up, to get dinged up, and to get accelerated in terms of whatever trajectory it is you're wanting to do as an occupation. And, me certainly as a comic, I even knew early on, much like Brandon, I was like, this is all for my future. I've got to invest now so it's a little easier as I get older. So I don't find any fault with him. And a lot of my friends that still do this to the day had the same approach. A lot of my friends that are very successful back in the day had that approach. And I think a lot of them, and myself included, you got to a point where you felt comfortable enough to go, okay, I've given enough of myself to this industry or occupation. Now I can take my foot off the gas pedal. I've established myself, and now it's time to really work on the personal aspect of myself instead of the professional aspect of myself.
Sure.
So I think when you're tipping the scales in terms of both, I do believe I'm a huge proponent of somebody taking your 20s, learning your mistakes, getting a lot of those failures out of the way, and focusing more on the professional, which at the end of the day comes full circle to your personal. But in your 30s, I think if you invest enough of yourself in your 20s, that your 30s can become more of an exploration of your personal life. And I know, friends, I just had a friend of mine recently, we had a deep conversation about getting to the point mentally, psychologically, saying to yourself, okay, now I'm going to do the right things to meet somebody. I'm going to stop going out to these places that I've been going to. I'm going to stop doing the things that I did when I was single, and I'm really going to recalibrate my mindset and get to a good place, a healthy place, where I'm ready to give the best version of myself to somebody.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, there is the saying, there's a cover to every pot. And I believe in the future, if Brandon wants that, there will be a cover to a retired post office worker who's living in Japan 6 months out of the year. I believe that cover is out there for that pot. So that's where I'm at. So right now, and then also I appreciate him knowing he's an ugly guy and saying like that, like he just straight up says, I'm not attractive, because he knows he's not going to go out there. So he's going to find somebody on his level, and who knows what his level is going to be. Maybe he goes through a crazy regime over in Japan. Maybe he starts studying the martial arts, and he becomes a ripped, well-hung, strong man who wants to really get out there and give the old karate chop to a 1-2 lady. This is why I'm here. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for this version of Brandon. I'm here for the Japanese bonsai salesman. I'm here for the guy who's ripped and loaded and abs on abs for days, who could break ice with his forehead. I'm here for all of it.
Give me a telephone book.
Rip it in half.
Give me green tea.
He might become a blood sport guy out there when he moves. You don't know he can get into Japan. He doesn't know.
I think he's probably going to end up with a Japanese girl.
Maybe. Or maybe he's going to meet with somebody here in the Americas, because he's going to be living 6 and 6, and we got to respect that. Dual citizen Brandon, I'm very excited for.
You really have it just as mapped out as he does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think his prospects are very bright.
Yes, the number one thing, what I will say to you, is do not judge yourself on being a loser or not if you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Winners surround themselves with winners, and you might not just have a winner to be with right now. And that's it.
I also think what you put out there exemplifies who you are. Exactly. So do not say those things, because look, we're in an industry where if you put Danny DeVito and the homecoming king of my high school, and you put them in a car and sent them off to Hollywood and said, okay, who's going to be successful?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. I think what ultimately matters is that, you're emanating some semblance of success, personal happiness. I think more people are attracted to that
100%.
Than anything else. It's like we've talked about a multitude of times. When you go to a dance floor, you can be the best dancer in the world, but if there's 4 or 5 guys in Hawaiian shirts that are having a blast, there's going to be a circle of girls around those guys. Every single
You're putting out good energy,
time.
putting out good vibes. I don't want you to be down on yourself, Brandon head. Sensei, it ain't so. I don't want you doing it, okay? In Japan, I want you here. I want you here with me, knowing that you're an ugly fella that's going to possibly die alone, and be okay with it, because you're going to be retired from that post office job, and you're going to be working on it 6 and 6.
How many episodes have we done?
Say it is for 20-ish. Sensei, it ain't so. Much luck to you, Brendan. I appreciate the awareness. I appreciate that.
Say, it ain't so. Dude, that could be my favorite thing you said in all the episodes we've done. Sensei, it ain't so.
I don't want to be down on himself.
Oh, my God.
I don't.
I agree with you. I hate when people do that.
Yeah, me too. It's my number one thing.
Say,
I stop people. I stop people from running their mouth when they start talking bad about themselves.
You can feel not attractive. We all have days where it's just like, I don't feel. But don't say, like, I know I'm not attractive.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's an asset about you that somebody will see that. You know what's funny? I read this study about what triggers people on swiping, right? And the more eccentric personalities, for some reason, like the people you would see pierced up and tattooed or whatever, because they're so eccentric, it's almost like they're throwing so much bait out there. Like, for some reason, they would get hits. But if you saw that person, you'd be like, oh, there's something off kilter. But for some reason, it's triggering something. But I think that when you're part of a mosaic, like on a dating site or something, there's going to be a quality that emanates about you, Brandon, that somebody out there in the world is attracted to. And I don't think you take that for granted. Please don't say that. I hate when people say that.
So
It tears me up.
running your stupid mouth out here, Brandon.
Stop running your gorgeous post office
loving mouth. And let's get into it. Get your plan together.
Let's get some punani for this guy, right? Let's get some poon. I think poon's the worst word.
The worst.
I
want to shut you. I want to knock you in your mouth.
Makes me
right
laugh.
now.
Makes me laugh, though. It's so awful.
It made me uncomfortable. I was touching my shoulders.
It's always men in the 70s that say, you want some poon? It's like, oh, God, anything but that, please.
Thank you.
Brandon, all the best to you, buddy.
Much love, buddy. Good luck. I can't wait to see your journey.
Okay, this is coming to us from Abby. Abby says, yo, cool moms.
Yo.
I'm having a problem with most of the kids I know. They don't want to do anything with me. I've tried to reach out and get together, but they're always busy or hanging out with someone else. And I'm always the one reaching out. Never the other way around. What should I do? Much love from Wisconsin, Abby. Abby, we're sending a lot of love to Wisconsin to you. I would say, do you have any initial thoughts?
Well, friendships are relationships, and most people forget that. And a relationship takes two people to be invested in it.
Yes.
If some of these people don't want to be invested in it, why are you wasting your energy? Is my first thought.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like when anybody has like a bad breakup, like you've been dating somebody for like 3 weeks or something, right? Or like it's been like 3 months, and I haven't heard from them. It's like I need closure. It's like that's your closure.
Closure is
they've communicated to you what you mean to them. It's over.
Yeah.
So stop trying to get closure for yourself. The door's already shut. And I think with this, it's like you're reaching out to the wrong people. Stop reaching out to the same people over and over again because they obviously are communicating to you that maybe they don't find value in you. That doesn't mean you don't have value, Abby. Obviously, you do have value. There's somebody, again, that you have some core beliefs or some real similarities and shared interests with. And I guarantee those people are out there, especially these days. Everything's so niche.
Yeah.
You'll find
you're wasting
a good
time and
group of
energy.
friends.
You're wasting your time and energy on people instead of putting it in people that would become friends or friendships. So what I would say is give it one last shot, see where it goes, and it doesn't go. And also, if you really, really value somebody or want somebody, let them have a conversation with them and be like, hey, look, I feel like we're not being, do you want to be friends with me? Just spell it out.
Yeah.
Spell it out. Yeah.
I don't think, it's almost like you see the, I guess just the positivity and naivety when you see a bunch of kids on a playground, right?
100%.
Like you just see, I took my son somewhere. It was, I forget, like a jump park or something like that.
Yeah, one of the trampoline park things.
Yeah. I took him and he just walked up to a kid and he's like, hey, I'm Kent. And now he's gone for 40 minutes with the kid. And that's all it took. And I don't know. I think sometimes.
Oh, I love that you qualified that with when you said with a kid. Hello, sir. I'm Kent. He was gone for 40 minutes. It was great. I got this. I was on Twitter. No.
You know, there was an Amber Alert for a little bit, but I consider myself a decent father.
Decent father. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, no, that's really that's some of the most awesome things. And aren't you so proud as a dad when you see that stuff where your kid just puts themselves out there and it's reciprocated? And aren't you crushed when it's not? Like, I get so crushed. I'm like, you don't even understand the awesome little girl you're ignoring right now that wants to play with you. Like,
but it's also, well, that's part of being a kid too,
100%.
right? Just like, but I think it's like to have that unawareness as an adult, even like, hey, what's up? I'm Steve, and sit down. So, Abby, I'll tell you, I don't know how old you are. I have no clue. But if you want a friend, I'll be at the Milwaukee Improv in Wisconsin, and I'll get you lunch. You can come have lunch with me and the other comics, okay? I'll make you that promise. So you just DM us, and if you're, I would pray to God you're not in high school or something like that.
High school kid,
then I feel. But I did reach out to. Oh my God, this story's crazy.
Go.
I don't know if I could tell it. Maybe I.
No, don't. If you're tell me later, and then we'll put it on the next one.
We'll put it on the next one. Yeah. Because it was like one of those things where you're. Anyways. I think stop reaching out to the same people, and you're getting the same result. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results, but you're going to get the same thing. So I would say reach out to a different core. That's my 2 cents. But
it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
Here we go. This is to us from Zach. Recently had the pleasure of seeing you cool moms on the second story of a strip mall and had the time of my life. You guys rock. Keep doing your thing. Question, humor, appreciated. Well, you got to pay extra for that, okay?
Yeah, I know,
this
buddy.
is free as it is,
Yeah,
Zach.
I know. What are you looking
Come
for here,
on,
Zach?
okay? When life gives you the proverbial lemon, what do you do to find the positive perspective despite the awful circumstances? Life has thrown some heavy stuff at me lately, and I would truly value the comedic perspective of the coolest moms. Well, I think this is a layup for the gentleman or mom to my left.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I've found very much so when you're getting into it, because it's literally the hardest time in my life right now. And I think really what is important is who you're surrounding yourself with. I think it's important it makes you take stock in where are you investing your time and energy and what's important to you.
Right.
So I think you need to, first and foremost, set up a support system, because life is too hard to go through it alone.
Right.
And I think it helps. Even one person that you could call or talk to is super helpful in those situations. So I will say, try to find something. When it all started unraveling for me, I became which is so against my nature, to become a recluse and not talk to anybody. And I found in that time, you would still be getting pinged by the same people. And I was like, and it wasn't the people I was expecting either. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And you need to recognize that. You need to recognize who is wanting the flip of what we just heard from Abby. Who is wanting to be in your life, right? So who's your Abby? Who's your Abby that's reaching out and like wanting to hang out and wanting to be with you?
By the way, that's like every 80s rom-com, right? The kid ignores the cute girl that's got the glasses and overalls, and he's pining after the wonderful girl. And then he realizes when he does have an opportunity with the wonderful girl, it's not what it's cracked up to be. And the girl he ends up falling in love with is the one he's had similar interests with the whole time.
The gross monster with the glasses and the ponytail.
Yeah.
You know? The gross absolute monster that has freckles. Ugh.
Yeah.
A ponytail, right?
Ugh, and a perfect body.
Right. Yeah. You know, he packs up, he goes to Japan for 6 months, comes back and realizes what's up.
With skills.
With skills, yeah. Yeah.
So
fun science. Yes. So for me, I think it's really just to take stock in a support system.
Here's the flip of it. What's the opposite of, like, what do you not do? Because I'm sure that there's
very good
where you go.
Great question. Great question. Regret is a monster. Regret is an angry, ugly monster. That is wearing a ponytail. That thing's got freckles. I hate that thing. So regret is tough. It's super easy to fall into regret. So for me, I always say worry and regret are the two most wasted things that you could do with your mental state. You do have to learn from mistakes, for sure.
Right.
I've made them, and you got to learn from them. And you've got to also not beat yourself up over it too much, because there is a time where you have to be like, okay, it happened.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, this is where I'm at right now, and you need to start building back up. And that journey could be exciting. The rebuild could be really exciting. So I would say, be careful of how much stake you put in regret.
Sure.
You need to deal with what's happened, for sure. But you can't let the regret weigh you down from your next steps.
Yeah, I think it's almost like, how much bandwidth do you give to the past as opposed to proceeding forward into tomorrow or the present, right? And I think that's got to be a painful exercise, especially at the very beginning, because you're culling all the information and dissecting and disseminating and finding fault, or, like you were saying, accountability for that. But I guess the pivot point is moving into present and tomorrow and looking at the road ahead, right?
A lot of it is accepting something that you didn't believe was the truth either. That's a huge thing. Accepting something that you couldn't believe would be the truth is the truth. I would never thought I would have a broken family.
Right.
I would never thought of that in a million years, where I would realize that I'm not as good, that I would make a better partner in a family instead of a husband and wife scenario.
Right.
You know, and then being like, but that also blossoms the opportunity of like, look, you get to define whatever you want. Like, we're a good family.
It's not a broken family.
Right. It would be a broken family if you tried to like ignore all the signs that it was, you know, right? So I think like, it's like, I never thought my kids would grow up with a dad that didn't live with them, right? I never thought that in a million years, right? But that's the way it is. And to be honest, it's like my kids are having a better experience. So I had to get through that, no, this isn't the right way, to be like, oh, shit, maybe it is.
Right.
So I think that's a big part of it. I think a big part of it is accepting a reality that you could never even fathom would be the best outcome.
Right.
So, and that's a painful experience. That's a not painful is the wrong word. It's a heavy experience.
Sure.
Yeah, it could be painful. There's pain in it, I'm sure, of course, and it could be heavy. But I will say it's something that you never had to wrap your mind around. You never had to think about it.
And I assume the load gets a little lighter as you progress forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say day by day.
Yeah.
Is what I've always said. I said, you got to take these things day by day. I've always been a big picture guy. I've always been somebody who had figured out a plan and thought, oh, this is the way it'll be.
Right.
But life gives you that old lemon,
Yeah.
and sometimes it doesn't make lemonade. It squeezes it right in your eyeball. And you're like, fuck this lemon, right? You get so mad at the lemon. And you just want to have lemonade. And bitch, there's some lemon in your eyeball. You got a paper cut? Lemon in it.
Yeah.
So I would just say, of course, it's a support system. It's being honest with yourself and accepting your new reality and be like, okay, how do I make the best of this situation?
Yeah.
And it's, maybe packing your bags and going to Japan for 6 months and seeing what happens. I would say that's it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, there was a realization I had recently over the last few years in doing stand-up comedy is that I'd met somebody after a show that was really impactful towards where I was at the time. I think I was just taking the job for granted. I was also in a place where I was working so hard but not getting results and feeling, ostracized in an industry I've given my life to, right? And I was just shitting on this kid in front, shitting on him. He was with his mom. He's in his 20s. He's kind of goofy, but I'm dumping on him, but pumping his tires at the same time.
Right.
Like having fun, but just still being like fun. Get him a drink, and then afterwards finding out that, he had 7 heart
surgeries,
operations over the course of his young years, and he told his mom, I just want to go out tonight and laugh. And here I am dumping on him, but he's laughing at the same time and like crying, and I was like, oh good. So I got to know this kid, and we've kept in touch, and it was one of those things where, as comedians we go out, every single weekend, and even though the room is laughing, there are times where you still want to be aware of the fact that there are people that are in that room because they want that release. They're there for a reason. And again, even doing this podcast, it's been really, really a journey I didn't expect in terms of it feeling really rewarding, because you realize that there are people going through things that, maybe are similar to what you're going through, or sometimes it strikes a chord with me and some of these things. So it makes you realize that, when you're on a plane with a bunch of strangers, when you're riding or you're at the airport and you're sitting in a restaurant and there's that person sitting, everybody's going through something.
Yeah,
everybody's got an issue, and I'm just glad that we're solving it all.
I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're here every week. That's why you guys could come hang out with us, and we fix everything because clearly we have it all under control.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah, I drive a Saturn. I got my shit on lock.
Look, we're out here to put love and laughter in the world, and I think we do a pretty good job, Mommy.
Well, it's a pleasure working with you, Mommy.
Love you, Mommy.
Yeah, love you, Mommy.
Thanks to all our peeps out there for always giving us the time of day. Hope we could give some smiles and love to you guys. And, follow us. Come out, see us live. We're here.
Yep.
And when you get back from Japan, please let us know.
Let us know.
These 2 cool mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us, review us, follow us on all social media, and subscribe to our YouTube.